Casual Magic has been sponsored by Quiver, maker of the Quiver and Bolt deck cases and other fine deck holding accessories. Use the code CASUAL on their website for 10% off your order. You can also support Casual Magic directly by going to our Patreon at patreon.com/ShivamB. And now, on with the show. Hello and welcome to Casual Magic, the show where we talk about the fun side of Magic the Gathering. My name is Shivam Bhatt, and Casual Magic is brought to you by Architect and Monopool and my Patreons at patreon.com/ShivamB. Today, I am very hyped to have a friend who I've met at 1,000,001 events and Magic Cons and somehow never had on the show, artist Tyler Walpole. Hey, buddy, thank you so much for finally joining me, despite it being entirely my fault that you haven't joined me previously.
I'm happy to be here. I'm really glad that we were able to find a time that works.
Yeah, because like we've seen each other literally at every event and like a bunch of SCG, whatever small event. I don't know. It's even most recently at Shoebox, and like we hang out and talk all the time. And I don't know why I've never actually been like, hey, let's schedule something. Or I might have, and I just forgot.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things, it's convention stuff. Let's do it. Let's get together.
Yeah. Hey, let's hang out. Yeah. Okay. Never going to happen. But I wanted to talk to you because you've recently crested doing 100 cards in Magic, which is quite the milestone. And you've done a bunch of cards that I genuinely love, including also everybody is hella stoked about and also quite jealous of the awesome art you did for me at Shoebox of Nira throwing a couple of lava darts. That looks so good. That turned
out good. And I love your idea of coming up with like a spell book.
Yeah, dude.
Just your commander cards. That's great.
Because that whole deck's principal idea is cast a bunch of spells that do nothing and then turn them into big crazy things. But if I go and get artists to draw what does Nira look like when she's pondering, that would be kind of cool. I don't know. I think that seems really fun.
It would be neat. And also I have to put an asterisk on. I haven't done 100 Magic cards yet. A couple of pieces in my Skyfall listing. There's art cards.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of prize paintings in there. So
yeah, I guess they technically don't nobody can get your mock sapphire, I get. Yeah. But close enough.
I'm looking for that 100 milestone and I gotta go, well, that doesn't quite count.
Yeah.
So, but this year, I'll pass it this year.
I'm curious, if you could decide, if you could pick yourself, what would you want your 100th card to be?
Lord of the Pit.
The original Lord of the Pit, OG?
I mean, if I got to do the artist's secret lair or something.
Yeah, well, that would be sick.
That's when I first started playing Magic, that was what could be better than a 7/7 flying trample.
I mean, honestly,
clearly the most powerful card in the game.
That was true in 1993 or 4, and it's honestly still true for me now. It's really, it's big and it's going to kill you. I see no flaws here. I mean, yeah, I've got to throw a card away every turn, but yeah, it's fine. Shut up. I love Lord of the Pit, man. And that random rune that's in the corner and nobody's ever been able to just decide.
And I know it's not, that card's not really relevant in today's Magic landscape. I don't care.
Who cares?
I just love it. So,
buddy, this show is not about relevant in today's Magic landscape. It's about what cards make you feel emotion. What cards make you feel damn, that's awesome. Lava Dart's not breaking any banks here, but I love that card. But yeah, so actually, when did you start playing? Was it way back at the dawn of time? I did
in high school, 93, 94. So yeah, Fallen Empires was the current set when I started playing.
God, so many of us fell into that trap with oh man, Revise is so cool. Fallens is going to be amazing. Oh no. Yeah. But I mean, Fallens was fine.
I used to have my big collection I had a ton of revised dual lands that I traded away for $20 a piece for store credit. So it was really more like $10 a piece. Feels
good. I love that for you. I love that for you.
In my defense, I really wanted comic books at the time.
You know what? If there's one thing this show has taught me, it's that we all make really idiotic moves 30 years ago that we had no idea this game was going to still be here. Right? Like,
Yeah.
if we had known, that this card's going to be worth $1 billion and this game's going to be around for a lot longer than you think, then maybe I would have kept some of those cards.
Yeah. Hindsight and all that.
Hindsight. But like, if you started playing way back in the beginning of time, like I did, when did you, like, it must have felt awesome to actually get to your point in your career where they're like, yeah, we want you to paint Magic cards. Like, did you, how did that come about?
Very slowly. Back early in my career, I was very determined I was going to become a comic book artist. I was going to be a penciler, and at the time, there was a speculator boom going on in the comic book industry. It basically seemed like if you could hold a pencil, you could get a book, and it would sell okay. And I came up just sort of after that all ended. So there was a crash. So there was a point where I went, maybe I should look at some other avenues. And I had my favorite artist when I started playing Magic. My favorite Magic artist was Quentin Hoover. And he'll always be my favorite Magic artist.
Quentin Hoover rules, though. So
yeah. I mean, Vesuvian Doppelganger.
Oh God, dude! I finally got one after like 25 years, and it's such a sick piece of art.
It's beautiful. Or like even like Regeneration is one of my favorites. It's just he's got that Art Nouveau stylization to the like energy that's being cast in it. But I
love the way like the green vibrancy goes around his arm.
Yeah. And Quentin's work was very line art heavy, and was the artist that made me think, oh, maybe I could do fantasy art for a living. Because I love fantasy art, and there's really not, there's just not at the time, there wasn't a lot of fantasy themed comics that did very well. So that didn't seem like a great avenue. Like I couldn't take a portfolio filled with fantasy comic book work in the 90s and hope to turn it into, assignments.
Yeah. You know what? Now that I'm going through like Quentin Hoover's like kind of like catalog here, and first off, there's like so many more cards I forgot that he had drawn that are just like the original Feedback with the dude who's getting zapped and his head thrown back is so good. But yeah, it really does feel a lot like early comic book artwork. Like when you see like Preacher or Regeneration or things like that, it feels like something you would have seen in a comic. So yeah, I could see where you would have gone with that.
Yeah. So Magic is the game that made me go like, oh, maybe you could get into gaming art. And I got into gaming art, basically one year, instead of going to, so I'm from Iowa. And every year I would make a pilgrimage to Chicago for the big convention at the time, which was Wizard World. And I would wait in line and show my portfolio to comic book editors and get kind of the same feedback. And it rarely lead to any like serious work. And then one year I decided, you know what, I'm going to make a gaming spot illustration portfolio. And instead of going to Wizard World, I'm going to go to Gen Con. And I went around, and so I made just black and white pen and ink stuff. And I showed my portfolio around to every single art director I could find on the floor of Gen Con. Cause I didn't.
Yeah, that's smart.
I was just throwing everything at the wall, just seeing what would stick.
Had you trained as an artist?
I mean, no, I don't
Formally,
have any formal. I don't have any formal training. So,
so you're just talented.
I'm stubborn.
That's cool. Because I mean, I have definitely made the round of Gen Con of just going and be like, hey, you're a person who is in charge of a thing I want to do. Let me talk to you and try to do the thing. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it's if nothing else, it introduces me to people so that later on they would think about me. It hasn't not worked yet, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so who did you end up getting any leads from that?
Yeah, the biggest one was Palladium. I ended up doing a bunch of stuff
For
for
Rift?
Kevin Simbita for Rifts, and they had their like quarterly book that would come out. It was called Rifter.
Yeah.
It had a lot of short form content in there. So that was my break into the industry. My very first assignment had a dragon in it, so I was thrilled.
I played so much Rifts as a kid. We played a lot of D&D, but then we realized Rifts would let you make anime characters, and suddenly it was like, I'm going to do Ryu from Street Fighter or Goku or a Guyver or whatever. And Rifts was definitely the kitchen sink of all
Yeah,
fantasy ideas.
yeah, you could put everything you want in there.
Oh, yeah, and they're all doing MDC damage, and it's just like, well, my guy's got hit points. Well, he just vaporized, so good luck. Did you play any of the old tabletop RPGs or anything?
Yeah, it was my my tabletop RPG experience is just littered with failed attempts. Like I think in elementary school we were trying to play D&D, and we would basically every time was making characters.
Mm. Yeah, and you
then,
never actually get to the playing part because
yeah,
nobody
so
wants
we
to
would
play
do
the same.
we played a little, but yeah.
Cool. So then, like, you were able to. So how did you parlay that into working for Wizards, or was it just like you built a portfolio and then kind of went forward?
Yeah, I started getting like black and white work. And after a couple years of doing that, realized that if I wanted to ever do it on a full-time basis, I needed to learn to start doing work in color, because the pay discrepancy between color work and black and white work was vast. And then this whole digital art thing started, and I was like, wait, I think people are making these paintings on their computer with some kind of device that's not a mouse. That's how old I am.
Oh, you get your first tablet and be like, "This is magic."
It blew me away. So so eventually I started doing, adding color to my line work, and then evolving that into doing digitally painted work. So my first stuff that I got hired for Magic, I sent them work for 10 years.
Damn.
And got told no thank you. But I was, working on other stuff, and just every 6 months or so I'd go, hey, here's my new work. And they would say, you're not ready yet. So, which is the hardest feedback to hear when you're an aspiring artist or you're trying to get somewhere. I've seen a lot of portfolios now, though, from other artists that are not quite there yet. And you can tell when you see it. You're just like, just keep going. You're headed in the right direction. You just need a little more time in the oven.
So here's a question then. Like, if you're a self-taught-ish artist and you've like been grinding away and doing this, how do you get better? Like, you haven't had classes. I mean, I'm not saying like every artist has ever had classes or whatever, but I'm just trying to understand, like, how do you build up your skill set to get over that threshold?
So yeah, it's the landscape for that is different now than when I was trying to like build up my skill set. So I used to post on conceptart.org. It was a website that had a very active artist forum on it. So just those old bulletin board.
I miss forums.
Me too. And so, I would do art and post it for critiques and get feedback and try and incorporate, One nice thing is if you're asking a bunch of people for feedback and you can get similar responses from a number of folks, you go, okay, that's what I need to work on. And then, I'm constantly doing, like, if I was in another industry, you would call it professional development. I go to Jeff Miracola had his fantasy art workshop where I would go and spend a week
and I've seen
painting
a lot of
with other artists.
Yeah. Like, I've seen a lot of like magic artists even and D&D artists do things like host seminars or classes to kind of show you the the style guide, or like the idea of like these are the sort of things that was like RPG companies are looking for, or like this is how you can kind of, I mean, I know as a writer, for instance, workshopping with other writers to be like learning where to tighten up your language and stuff is very, very useful. And I'm presuming it's similar for art, where you sit there and go like, hey, like your brush strokes here are really great, but you need to make a little bit more bolder art choices or something.
Yeah.
Sometimes though,
So
like the critiques are so nebulous, you're like, I don't know what you're even asking me to
yeah.
do.
So what's nice about the workshops is, so like Jeff's workshop, for example. So the instructors were obviously Jeff Miracola, Howard Lyon,
Oh, geez.
Aaron Miller, Steve Prescott, and then they would have a guest artist that would come every year. So you spend a week in that environment with, a couple of dozen other artists that are, everybody just makes a painting during the course of that week and gets feedback as they are working on it. So it's one of the nice things about, comparing it to getting writing feedback. It takes a little more time and to absorb in order to give like constructive feedback to a writer. With art, at least it's visual. It's like you could take
they
it
can
all
point
in
to the thing and say that should be
immediately.
this.
Yeah. Well, they'll be like, can I take your brush for a second and show you some stuff? I mean,
that would be cool and also kind of embarrassing at the same time. But then just like, but they move the light source to here, and you're like, oh my god, it now makes sense.
Yeah. So it's a lot of that. It's just like going, how can I get better? And nowadays there's so many amazing resources available online. So like I'll get videos off of Gumroad, and
right.
I'm a process junkie. So if I can find an artist that I like and they have a video that shows them working on a painting, like I will love to put that in my brain.
I know Ryan Pancoast has done that a bunch, and Jason Engel, I think, has done a few. And like, I love watching painters paint just because it's so cool to see. Like, I remember there was a thing once at SCG Con somewhere where all the artists who were in the artist row sat down, and they took Olivia Gilbert Hicks, who was dressed up as Liliana, and they were all sitting in a semicircle around her, and they all did their versions of what Olivia would look like as Liliana with the costumes and lighting. And you would go from person to person, you would see the angle of the face change from where they're sitting. But also, like, I remember I met Wayne Reynolds once, and Wayne Reynolds, I asked him to do a sketch for me, and he did this absolute stunning, detailed, gorgeous like sketch. And then he took this really thick Sharpie and started just hacking over it. I'm like, what are you doing? It's so gorgeous. And then when he was done, I was like, oh, you made this incredible looking is actually what you did. Like with the shadows and shading and lighting and stuff. Cause like Wayne's like arts are very jagged and stretched. His sketches are a lot like that. But I was just like, you did this masterwork, and then you would pull a spray paint can and start going ham on it. And that's when I realized that I don't know anything about how art is made.
Yeah. There's a point where there's some value in like trying to do things wrong.
Yeah. But also in letting the process happen and not trying to stop it halfway. Just like trust that this dude knows what he's doing. Let's see where it goes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What was your first assignment, Will Watty?
With WotC itself was some, they took over Dragon magazine at some point from Paizo. So it was like so I had done a lot of Pathfinder and Paizo stuff. And then, so my first one was, I got hired by John Shindahedi to do some work for their digital Dragon magazine. And then I did some stuff for, D&D, a few pieces here and there. And then my first card for Magic was the stained glass night token for Dominaria.
So good. It's so good. The Dominaria stained glass artwork is so sick, and I loved that was a motif they decided to use for that. It looked so cool.
I got it. Thank you. Number one. Number two, it's such a weird assignment because the feedback I had gotten from the main art director for Magic for years was that I had too much line work showing.
Yeah, and then here's like a whole bunch of line work.
And then that ended up being the first assignment. So
That's funny.
like I'm confused. My brain is confused.
But you made it look like stained glass, which is incredible. And like, because stained glass is hard to draw because you have to get the lighting through the glass and all the different kind of temperatures and stuff through it. I mean, I love stained glass, so I'm like very specific about it. But I love the way like the rays just kind of overlay on top of the blue sky, and just you could feel the artist kind of cut through and like did the thing. It felt very stained glassy. It was maybe a little rounder than I would get away with doing in stained glass because it's hard to do round with knife cuts. But I thought it was sick. That must have been really exciting though, right? Like getting your first art like assignment for a Magic card.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was a token, so it's like, okay, well, when do we get a real card? I know you got to do stuff in Ravnica, Guilds of Ravnica, right? I think.
Yeah, I think that was the set right after Dominaria. So,
but was it like, what was the feedback like for the token you did? Like, obviously they liked you enough to keep going back. So that must have been cool.
Well, I mean, that one was a, kind of a unique piece. So I also had another card in Dominaria. I had the Voldalian Arcanist.
Oh, right.
Just a
merfolk.
Mana dork.
Yep. Just
which I did. I did when you work on a Magic set, they send you we get a comp box of boosters for every set. So some friends and I we did a draft tournament with my free box that I got with it.
Cool.
And then somebody was able to kill me with Voldalian Arcanist.
I love that for you and also hate that for you. So it's like I know what that's like.
That was his goal. He was like, it's not about the win. It's like, I just want to kill you with this card. Like,
yeah, but you know what? That's sick.
I fully support
right?
that.
Like that's awesome. That. Like that's that you can even get away with that is sick, right? Like I remember I was playing in a Gavin event at MagicCon, and this was the year that they introduced the card that he had made for me, and I was playing against a dude who then proceeded to just stomp me up and down the street with my card, and I'm like, I'm so proud.
Right.
Oh my god! But I do want to talk about a couple of pieces specifically that you did, because you did the alt art full version of Lovestruck Beast, which made it look like the fairy tale kind of like the super gorgeous frame and everything, and it is. Eldraine's one of the most beautiful sets we've ever gotten, and that's like one of my favorite alt arts. It's stunning. It just looks like Beauty and the Beast so perfectly. Was that a fun one to do?
Yeah, that was. That's a really interesting set because of the storybook vibe that they want for it.
It's a very line heavy.
Yeah, so that's my only watercolor piece that I've done for Magic.
Oh, did you do it in actual watercolor?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that was. I
wonder.
Yeah, it just felt appropriate. Like that's another thing. I change mediums that I work in often, basically because I'm self-taught or don't have any formal training. I'll bounce around and I'll try a medium for like a year, and then I'll switch back to oils, and then I'll.
What is it like? Is oils your base painting style?
Yeah, that's where I've kind of settled into is.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question related to that, which is that you're a self-taught artist, and there's like 12 million different ways to paint and draw things. How did you decide where you wanted to be? And did you just go and I'm going to buy all these different oils and pastels and whatever and figure out what works? Or did you just watch a lot of Bob Ross videos and be like, yeah, I'm going to do that?
So I ended up in a crit group with a few other artists when I was mainly working digital, and I decided to make the leap over to doing traditional. And they were all oil painters. So I started out with oils. I would do an acrylic underpainting and then go over that with do the final passes in oils. So that seemed like the easiest. And also from all the mediums I've tried, oils are the closest to how I work digitally when I paint digitally. So that was the most natural transition for me.
Cool. Yeah, because art supplies are expensive. So if you're just like testing and going, then you end up with a lot of expensive things, like pencils and things that you're just like, But yeah, that painting is so sick and so evocative, and it just feels really in the world perfectly. And the other one I wanted to think about was you had done for Modern Horizons 2, Scour the Desert, which
Yeah.
was just one of the sickest things I think I've ever seen you draw. Which is like this skull with these birds that are kind of like coming out of it, but you make like the black background kind of into the foreground. And I don't know what that technique's called, but I just know it looks super awesome.
Yeah, that was so my art director on that piece was Cynthia Shepard.
Genius.
Yeah, I love Cynthia. She's amazing. And she had communicated that she wanted to start trying to find room in Magic for some more I think her word was weird art.
Stasis.
Stasis, exactly, right? Like,
yeah, more abstract vibes.
Yeah, so she said she thought this was a good card to maybe explore something like that. So I tried a whole bunch of different sketches and worked pretty closely with her to hone in on what was working in that. And so we came up with that sort of paper cutout feel.
Yeah, it feels like layers of
for
paper
the silhouettes. Yeah.
Yes. I like that. Like, for instance, there's this bird skull in the bottom and it's on top of this black background. And then you carved these birds out of that same black, but then we've got the actual sunset, which brings that background to the foreground. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool looking. I don't know. I love that one. That
one. My wife loved that one too. So that's hanging in our living room. So,
well, you know what? That's also awesome though, right? Like when your spouse is like, okay, yeah, we're keeping this one.
Yeah.
And then you did the funny D&D Secret Lair. I'm still mad that they didn't let you do Tiamat. I think that would have been so sick to do cartoons.
Yeah, it would have been good.
Yeah. But like you've done a bunch of weirdo Secret Lairs lately, like SpongeBob. Okay, what the hell? I need to know because I haven't gotten to talk to anybody about this. SpongeBob is an extant cartoon, and they want you to take specific moments out of that and turn it into a magic card. How did you just like freeze and like try to like draw to make it look like how does that even work?
So that one, I kind of just got a reputation with the art directors because I have two styles that I basically work in now. I've got the oil painted stuff, and then I've got my cell shaded animation inspired work that I do.
Yeah, like the Ghostbusters and Doctor Who and whatever.
Yeah. Which I love. I was raised by my television. I'm of that age. So I love animation. So I feel really lucky that I get to explore that through magic art.
Yeah.
The SpongeBob job, I mean, they literally just sent me, those are all internet memes. And they literally just sent me screenshots of those memes and said, redraw these, make them high res, and make it so the artwork fills the frame because they're borderless cards. So full art. So there's like on that Smothering Tithe, there's a whole bunch of dollars behind that text.
God damn, dude. So many people get tilted off those cards so much. But like I remember you were telling me a story of somebody who was just ranting at you about the SpongeBob cards, wasn't it?
Yeah, somebody. There's a collector that I've known for a while, and we're pretty friendly. And he was telling me that the Universes Beyond stuff was getting a bit much for him, and he just likes, he wants his magic to be just normal fantasy stuff, and he doesn't want all
Spider-Man.
He doesn't want Spider-Man in there, and I was like, yeah, I hear you. I understand. Well, it's good to see you. And he starts walking away and he turns around and he goes, oh, wait, I forgot. I need you to sign these before I go. And he busts out his SpongeBob Secret Lair.
He spends like 20 minutes yelling at you about this. And they're like, by the way, can you sign these cards?
Yeah. So, like, people like what they like.
I mean, look, dude, I think Knuckles looks sick. I love your Knuckles, and Knuckles is one of my favorite Sonic characters. And I thought the Turtles cards you did were also really, really cool. like your Rocksteady and Bebop feel like, because you did this the Stampeding Brutes for like the Secret Lair that looks like the old VHS tapes, and I swear to God it looks 100% like the old VHS tapes, just in terms of the way you drew Rocksteady and Bebop looks exactly like what my mind thinks 1989 Turtles would have looked like. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah, that was weird because we had to. So we were trying to match the style of the animated series, but update the costumes to match because they redesigned all the characters for the Magic set. So they're just a little bit off from
the old school.
Yeah,
but like it doesn't even look. I mean, it looks like what I think it would have looked like. So I guess that succeeds.
Yeah. So I used to work in animation. I was a storyboard artist for a few years. So
so you know how to draw cells and stuff.
So like storyboard artists don't get into that part, but trying to keep things, they call it on model, which is where you try to match what the character designers have come with and envision them from different angles doing whatever. Yeah. So that skill comes in very handy when working on those animated cards.
Yeah, I mean, that would probably be handy in all of Magic, because I know in Magic cards, they give you like the guidebook for the plane or whatever they're doing. It's like, here's what these characters and these elves and merfolk look like on this plane. Make sure yours look exactly like this, so that they're at least consistently. So being able to copy and make things on model probably is like, I mean, in Spider-Man too, for instance, you have to make like symbiotic Spider-Man or whatever look like the comic books or the movie. That's hard, but it looks sick.
Yeah, that's part of the being freelancer. Like,
I mean, in fact, I want to talk to you about the awesome portraits of the dudes you did. Like, you did the Dragon, and you did like Layla and Alelia and like a bunch of other, like, you know, Eladamari and stuff. And you did these incredibly beautiful side portraits of them. And tell me about these, because I love those cards.
Yeah, so that was art director on that was Sarah Wassel. She's also a wonderful human being, and she does a lot of, her focus is usually on the like booster fund stuff, so the alternate art approaches. So her the concept was to do these legendary creatures in side profile with a outline around them and then a solid color background. And she just thought it would have a really striking visual impact.
I mean, it did
in the landscape of art. Yeah. So like, if you've seen the playmats that have all of the portraits from the sets, they look really cool.
They really, really do. I love your Talrand, especially because like the way that Drake's head is hooded on over his eyes, and it just makes him look so like epic for a card that we've seen reprinted like 1,000,001 times. I was like, damn, you made a cool looking Talrand out of that, dude.
Thanks. Yeah, I missed that painting. I sold that original, and whenever someone buys a playmat and I'm signing it, I'm always
you just sad again.
I should have kept that painting. It's really cool.
It was really cool. Did you keep any of those profile ones?
I still have the Dragon.
Okay, well that's kind of the king of all of them. I want to get one of those cards one day. I still haven't, because I got Azusa and a bunch of the other ones. I love the portrait style, and I hope they come back to it. Every commander should be able to do that, but there's 600,000 commanders, so they're not going to do it for everybody. You know what's funny? Like, one of the earliest cards you did was a card called Wilderness Reclamation, which was my preview card for that set. And it was just ended up being one of the most broken cards in Standard at the time. But yeah, I love Wild Wreck. I think that card's so cool.
It just gives you mana. The Nexus of Fate was the problem. It was giving everybody extra turns.
I mean, yes. Yeah, that's Nexus of Fate is also just one of the worst cards ever printed. That's fine. And the fact that it was a box topper. I mean, God, Nexus of Fate has like 600 million problems with it, and I'm just going to leave that alone. That you guys can go to Shivam and Wheeler Love Magic and hear me yell about that at some point. But yeah, like, dude, I don't know, Wild Wreck, because I love landscapes, and you did this gorgeous landscape of what Ravnica would look like in the fall with the green frame and everything. Looks so sick. And I don't know, I think you did a fantastic job of just giving it a evocative feeling of what the town would look like if it's been re-eaten by plant life. And I don't know, I think you did a great job with that card.
Well, thanks. Yeah, that was a fun one. It was one of my few landscape pieces that I've gotten to do.
So what is it like though, now that if you've played Magic as a kid and stuff, and you're here at these Magic cons and everybody's like, oh my God, you're Mr. Magic artist guy. That's got to feel really cool, right?
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. It's really humbling, and to be able to go spend a weekend and sign Magic cards for people all weekend long, and like,
it's a cool feeling to sit down in one place and have a bunch of people come to you and tell you how awesome you are.
Yeah, that is it. It is nice. It's also nice. People seem to get a lot of joy out of the interaction, and I try to make every interaction at my table I try to give them attention because I'm grateful that they're there, and I don't want to like just rush people through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been there, and like, because you sit there and you're like, damn, I am on this side of the table because you're on that side of the table and care. And if you didn't care, I would not be here sitting on this side.
Right.
And it's like, it feels really cool. And also I'm like, I want to make sure that you go home thinking that I was as cool as you wanted me to be. And
right.
like, or at least, if not that, but in the sense of like, I don't want you to feel like, man, that was a waste of my time to meet this dude. But it's still, it's like a really rewarding to know that you're doing something that someone else really enjoys. Cause like, yeah, I mean, we've hung out a lot of these things to just end up talking ambiently because it's just fun and you're just lively. And I've definitely known I've known other artists who are definitely like, I'm here to work and I'm not here to socialize. And I'm like, that's fair. You're fine. I'm just going to say hello and move on. But like, you're always just like pleasant and happy to see folks. And that's great. It's very like, it's welcoming,
Can I tell you what I did for a living during the 10 years I was trying to
I want to know everything. Yes, tell me.
Yeah, I was waiting tables.
Okay, well then there you go.
So
that's you learn how to be a nice person.
Yeah, I love people. I genuinely I'm a big fan of
people.
Persons are good.
I mean, look, dude, in Minnesota, I landed and I'd left my gloves and hat in California and it was like 0 degrees and we were going lower. And I just posted out ambiently. I'm like, I don't have a hat. And you're like, I've got one. Come to my booth. And you literally saved my butt. So I cannot not tell the universe how cool you are because I would have died. Oh my God, dude, walking to the hotel on Sunday after the show through the blizzard. And I'm like talking to my mom and I'm just tromping through like we went to dinner on the far side of Minneapolis, or we were going to go to lunch far away, but that place ended up being closed. So I had to trudge back like a mile to my hotel in the snow. Oh. And I'm calling my mom and she's like, do you miss that? Do you see why we left? I'm like, I know, I will never doubt again. I'm so sorry. Make it warm, please. Yeah.
Were you here in Minneapolis?
Yeah. I mean, I was there. I was in St. Paul. And after the con, we were going to go to a Thai restaurant by the other side of the con hall from where my hotel was. And
no. Sorry. I meant, did you used to?
No, I lived in Massachusetts.
Okay. All right.
So I lived for 5 years in Massachusetts. So I know what cold and snow and like the first year we were there was, this is actually a funny story. The first year we were there was a blizzard that was one of the worst blizzard in 10,000 years or whatever the hell it is. And we're like brand new, Californians. And before that, my mom lived in Texas and like Mississippi. We don't know from snow, right? And our clothes are all hanging on the back to dry. And we go out and they're all planks. Like jeans are just like hard as like boards. Yeah. And we go out in the front, like there was a porch that went 3 steps down into the yard and the snow was higher enough to go to our doorstep. And my brother's wearing like somebody's borrowed snow suit and he's like 5. He takes 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps and disappears in the snow. And it just, you see his little fingers kind of sticking up at the top. And we go and we had parked outside because we didn't know any better. And so our minivan was coated in an inch thick layer of ice all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
How do you get rid of ice? Well, we take warm water, right? So we went and my dad boiled a big pot of water and brought it outside and threw it on the car.
Oh, no.
And it was like, and we just sat and watched every window in the car just simultaneously explode. It was incredible.
Wow.
It was incredible. And we were just sitting there staring at it. And you could just hear the tinkling. And we're just like, oh. Oh
no. Yeah. That's an expensive lesson.
Lessons were learned that day, my dude. Yeah, we learned that snow and us, it's good for other people. We'll like drive to Reno once a year and be like, look, it's snowing and I can snowboard and it's great. And then we'll go home where it's warm. Like, dude, when I landed in Cali, it was like 90 degrees. It was an almost 70-degree difference from where I took off and landed. And that was a lot.
Well, that's one of the fun bits about being in the Midwest. During like late winter, early spring, you could have a 70-degree difference from day to day.
Yeah, no, can't do that. Like, I don't know how you guys live that far from the ocean in the first place, and then let alone it's cold, and it's so cold. But like Hobbs took me around town, and we got to see we went to this park that had the Minnehaha Falls, which was really cool. This waterfall in the middle of a park, and I was like, "Damn, it's frozen. It's cool." I mean, it was awesome. I had a very good time, and I really enjoyed. And it was so cool being in a small show and just being like, "Oh, I can just talk to people, and nobody cares because it's just 30 people here."
It was such a chill vibe.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm glad that Chase Stone got to have that as his first magic show, to be like, here, that's what it tastes like as an introductory event. And he's like, I'll be ready for Vegas. I'm like, no, you will die at Vegas.
Yeah.
But this is a nice step up.
Vegas is such a different beast.
Yeah, dude. What's it like going to Magic Country? Because like, I know we don't get to sit and just hang out at those.
Those are, it's like drinking from the fire hose. That's, I mean, it's what it comes down to. It's, they just, from the minute you sit down till the minute they close the doors, most of the artists there have a line the entire time. Yeah. So that's where I have to find a balance between like being chatty with people and being like, I got a line, so I gotta kind of move it along.
Right. And it's like, you can't even take commissions or anything there because your hand will fall off.
Yeah. I have taken a couple of commissions at the last few, and the last MagicCon I did, Atlanta, I realized I need to not do this anymore because I have enough cards now that they have like their VIP hour where you could pay extra to get in. Yeah. Well, that has in the past been my time to catch up on commissions. Like I'll take them to the hotel room and try and work on them. And then I'm like, oh, they're going to go get in Mark Tadin's line and Chris Ron's line and stuff. Well, this at Atlanta this time, like I was busy during that hour the whole time, which that was a new experience for me. So
it's like if you go to Amsterdam and you want to get in Magali's line, if you're not in that VIP, you're just not going to get that. That's just not going to happen. Also, I loved Witch Enchanter. I thought you did a great job with that artwork. That one looked really, really cool. But yeah, man, like, I don't know. It's fun to meet your kids at these events and hang out. And it's fun to get to know artists and get to know you and stuff. And it's cool to watch you grow and get more popular over the years. Like, it's like Schmandrew, who's one of my good friends. When we started hanging out, he had like 0 cards, but he just had his own artwork. And now over time, he's been building up a fan base and getting more and more cards. And it's like, that's so cool. I mean, it sucks because I don't get to hang out with my friend, but it's also like, that's so cool. I'm glad that you're getting big. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like you to have money.
Schmandrew's great.
He's a lovely person.
There's a handful of artists that I sent to my art directors multiple times saying you need to give this person work. And that's just like putting a little finger on the scale. It doesn't do. I don't think it does. I don't have a whole lot of pull, but I'm just like, please look at this person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
What would you, if you could, what would you want to draw besides Lord of the Pit? Like, what would your secret lair be?
I'd
Do you
have
still
to
play?
really. Yeah, I play like casual commander, and I try to go to the pre-releases when I can.
But yeah, what would it be? What would you want? Like, what cards have you been like, damn, I would love to make a version of that?
Some version of Niv Mizzet.
Yeah, I think you do really good dragons. I like your dragons.
He's my favorite Magic dragon. Yeah, if I could do an artist secret lair, I'd probably just try to do Oops All Dragons. Just a pile of legendary dragons. That would be fine.
Like you did Archive Dragon, which was this dragon reading a book, and I'm like, I got real Nicol Bolas vibes out of that guy. Just like chilling, reading
the OG.
Yeah, the OG novel reader.
Yeah.
The original Nicol Bolas, where it's like, oh, how did this grandpa who's reading with his glasses on become like the scariest villain in all of Magic?
Books, kids.
You know what, man? Books. But yeah, like I think the next thing I need you to do is I need you to draw Knuckles holding the Buster Sword for me. Because that would be so funny. But yeah, man, it's been really great. I love hanging out with you, and I'm glad that we got a chance to talk. And I appreciate you coming on today. If folks wanted to find your art or anything about it, or wherever you are, where would they go?
My website is tylerwalpole.com. I am also pretty active on Blue Sky and Instagram. So pretty much just search for me there.
Awesome. And as always, my friends, you can find me at Shivam Bhatt on Blue Sky, or you can find the podcast anywhere podcasts are sold, thanks to my editor, Dan. You can also hear me on Shivam Wheeler Love Magic or the Chronicles of Dragonlance podcast. And remember, my friends, it's not magic without the gathering, and we'll see you next time.